15 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
There I am. How the heck are you? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the, what have we here? The Wednesday, July 21st, first edition of Nevermind the Furthermore with Not Enough Coffee. And me, Brian K. Morris, author, publisher, former mortician's assistant. Hope you're having a great hump day so far. Things are looking up for me today. And I hope they will be for you. And I'm really excited because I've got all kinds of things to look forward to this weekend. Hope you do too. Hope you're already planning for them. But first, let's get the gratitude out of the way. Let's talk about our daily sponsor, Mr. Jeffrey Hayes, Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. You know, they say that when you pick up a book that, just putting it in your hand, it helps, bring the customer closer to that sale. Well, the best way to put that book in your hand is to put a great cover on your book. So check out Plasma Fire Graphics. You saw the graphics you just saw in that promo? Well, those are all live examples, just like this one here that I didn't have queued up this morning. Anyway, Jeffrey also did this one. Look at the stark simplicity, but all the emotion and power packed in that. There's also some good stuff inside. That's my latest release. Snow Ambition, number 4 in the Snow Short series. Number 5 is just being dropped right now. And you can get that for 99 cents on Amazon. But definitely check out Plasma Fire Graphics because they not only can do those beautiful book covers, they also can do promotional graphics as well as the videos, the trailers, like what you just saw. He does all mine. He'll do all yours too at very, very affordable prices. So check him out on Facebook and also check him out. Check out Plasma Fire Graphics on the interwebs at plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. And what matters to me also are my patrons on Patreon. They help keep this show running. God bless them. And I believe I've got a new one that I need to put up on the queue here. I got really distracted yesterday, and my apologies to my new subscriber. We'll get you on here by the end of today. But anyway, Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support your favorite creators at a cost that's comfortable for you and very, very helpful to whoever you're supporting. Please check these names out. They also have Patreons of their own, but in return for what you give, you get some stuff too, exclusive looks, stuff people will not see yet, and maybe some things people will never see, like my exclusive blog. Every blog deserves a name. So please check it out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Speaking of checking it out, here is our updated schedule for the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please take a screenshot of this and please go to our Facebook page and give it a like so you can follow our latest news. We also have many of our videos on there. Let's see, tonight, after this show, tonight at 7 p.m., I'm really excited. The second episode of The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming is going to be on. And they're going to be talking about something I haven't heard about in a long time. And that's the Hollow Moon. What's the Hollow Moon? Well, Ted and Glenn will tell you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And also, we have all kinds of great shows. And tomorrow's going to be way busy. In the morning, Ted's going to talk timepieces. And then in the evening, I will start the evening along with Eric S. Hawkins and Clyde Hall and Brian Rodman on Comic Book Spectrum, where we review the latest releases and also check out some things from the past and talk about comics as they are and should be and will be and could have been. It's just a great, fun discussion. You'll love the chemistry there. And then at 9 p.m. is one of my favorite shows anywhere, and that's Stupid O'Clock, a great conversation show that'll last until about 11. After that will be Last Man Standing with Dan Hollifield. Always a good time. You're going to dig it. Please check it out. And I hope you all, speaking of digging it, I hope you caught last night's Clever Title Pen. And we had John B. Pike on. What a story this man has. What a story to tell. And I was scribbling notes while we were talking because I was getting a lot of good information out of it. I think you will too. John's a fun guy and a great friend. And we're so glad to have gotten the chance to talk. And this coming week, this coming Tuesday, we'll have Roland Mann of Silverline Productions talking about his latest comic releases and his history in independent comics. I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you are too. And what I'm really looking forward to is plowing into your comments here. Who was first? Well, first this morning was Teresa Dunn. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, creative authors. Mwah. Same to you, darling. Good to see you. And I believe Teresa will have her interview show tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Please check it out. And I think Willow Schuyler is going to be on it, if I'm not correct. If I'm wrong, please correct me, Teresa. And I'm trying to think who else I need to talk about. Oh, also tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Check out Comic Books Yum on John B. Pica's Back of the Cereal Box Network. And Carl Witzman is here. Good morning, everyone. Runs down to check out a copy of Haunting Scripts for Bite Marks. Yeah, there could be saliva on the spine, Carl, but other than that, it is pretty tame. And Michaela Jade, well, hello there in my bra you go. Have a happy day. And I realize, Michaela, I'm so glad to see you here. I love you, darling. Looking forward to Tidbits and Scribbles on Friday night at 7 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Check out Michaela Jade's YouTube channel and please subscribe. She's going to talk about conventions, especially the one we were at this last weekend, Heroes for Kids. Boy, you talk about Nevermorians. You had, if you were out to beat up Nevermorians, you had a target-rich environment this last weekend, and what a great time we had. Also, I wanted to thank Michaela. I forgot to bring this up the other day on Monday when I was showing my swag from the weekend. But also, look at this thing. Holy cow, you could kill a man with this. And I've got a list. Anyway, it's got the beautiful logo from the beautiful Michaela Jade. And this will hold a lot of damn coffee. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Michaela. Thank you. Love you. I do. And I don't care who knows it. In fact, I'm proud of it. Anyway, Michaela, love you. And check out Michaela's morning motivations. She will give you a kick in the ass to get you out of bed and get you to your creative happy space as soon as possible, because she's trying to get out of her job, her 9 to 5. And I've decided, Cookie and I, we finally did something. Michaela, I think you'll be happy with this. I forgot to tell you the other day. Cookie and I put a deadline on it. It's not it's, if you don't put a deadline on it, then it's just a wish. But when you put a deadline in it, becomes a goal. And we've got a deadline for Cookie now for a lot of reasons. Let's see what happens a year from now. Anyway, Skunk Rocker, good morning to you, brother. Good to see you. One of the co-stars of Stupid O'Clock. And also check out Scrub House Video Club on YouTube because he's awesome and knows a lot. Good morning, Nevermorian. Today's weird random factoid may or may not be brought to you by Stupid O'Clock, depending on whether or not the check clears. The comedy horror film Cooties features Danville, Illinois. Hey, we know people from Danville. Maybe they should watch the movie and tell us how accurate it is. The Danville part, not the kid zombies. We could probably speak to the kid zombies too. No, I didn't realize that. Well, I know that, what is it? The Babe was, and then here we go. And even then, I haven't been to Pontiac or Bloomington like in over a decade, I think. Last time I was in the state, I went to Chicago, and I didn't really go to Chicago. I went to Rosemont. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. I missed one, Skunk. My apologies. Oh, I missed a whole bunch. Did I get a comment dump already? Holy cats. Anyway, hey, Carl, quick Danville question. Is there a rival city in the area? It's part of the plot of Cooties. That's why I've asked. And nope. Hoopston might be a rival of sorts. That's close. I know at one time Danville and Hoopston were kind of rivals because Hoopston was one like the cannery center of the Midwest back when Carl and I were younger. It's since fallen from them and from then, and now Danville's a little bit more stable financially than Hoopston would be, I think. But that's not the name of the town. I forgot what the name of the town is. Something stupid. I'm pretty sure it's fake, but Danville is a real place. So how the hell should I know? And Carl says there's Tilton, Westville, Georgetown, Bismarck, all the little wide spots in the road. And just because I was born in Illinois doesn't mean I know where everything is. I really just know Pontiac, Bloomington, and the greater Chicago metro area. And even though I haven't been to Pontiac or Bloomington in over a decade, I think, last time I was in the state, I went to Chicago, and I didn't really go to Chicago. I went to Rosemont. Let's see. But no, that's not the, here's my factoid for you, Skunk. And I see the Carl touches on it too. Is that we've had, Carl, correct me, at least 2 films that were partially filmed in Danville. One was The Babe with John Goodman, and thanks to him, our local baseball stadium was rebuilt because the producers needed a place to. It was a life story of Babe Ruth, and they needed a nice stadium to play in, and so they redid the Danville Stadium. And I think the Danville team had been kind of dormant for a few years, and then Hollywood came in, pumped all this money, and said, "Here you go, Danville. Thank you for your help." And I still run into people who ran into Goodman, who sounds like the real deal. He sounds like a genuinely nice guy. But anyway, there's that, and also in the opening scenes of the Blues Brothers, where John Belushi is walking through this plant that was done in a aerosol cannery in South Danville, the Hagler area, just down the road from WITY AM 980. I used to hang out there a lot with one of the DJs when I was in high school and college. Let's see. And that's all I can think of. But at the time, Illinois was offering back in the 70s and 80s, Illinois was offering some very heavy financial and tax incentives for Hollywood studios to film in the state. And that's why, part of The Man of Steel was filmed in Plano, Illinois. That's why a great deal of Batman, and I think Man of Steel and Justice League were filmed in Chicago. A lot of stuff gets filmed in Chicago, like Blues Brothers and all. But anyway, that's more than you needed to know, people. Anyway, no, I'll have to check out Cooties. Thank you very much, Skunk. I appreciate that. And Carl Wisman says, Cooties, I'll see if I can find it somewhere. If there are zombies in it, it's probably accurate. Plenty of them wandering around the town. Amen. And Jake Lindsay, Christian Illusionist, good morning, sir. I just received the second dose. Wow, it hurts. You left the needle in a whole minute. Good Lord. You need to go to a different doctor than it sounds like. But anyway, buddy, you're on the road, man. You're on the road. You may have some side effects. Don't worry about it. When you do, it means the shot is working. That means that the RNA, see, here's the cool thing. Jake, I don't know I know you've gotten a lot of bad info, so here's some good info for you, because I have researched it. What most inoculations consist of are dead or nearly dead viruses. And they put them in kind of like an egg base. And then once it goes in your body, your antibodies attack them, figure out what they need to do to conquer them, and rewrite and replicate. What this does is it skips a step. It just basically goes in and says, attention, immune system, Here's a shopping list of all the data you need to have in order to fight this other thing. We're not going to give it to you. We're not going to give you the virus. We're going to give you the genetic information that allows your antibodies to rewrite themselves so that if you do get exposed to it, they can fight it right off the get-go. And it saves you a lot of trouble. And for some reason, some people have had a reaction. I had a mild reaction to the second shot. Compared to the reaction I had for my flu shot, it was nothing. So, yeah, you're going to be uncomfortable, and your arm's going to hurt for a few days, possibly. Don't hit the spot. But just stay hydrated. Make sure your blood sugar is on an even keel, and you probably will get through this within 24 to 36 hours. And you may feel a little foggy in the brain. You might feel a little weak. You might feel like you're getting the onset of a cold. Just treat it like you would a cold and just let it work. Okay. You're going to be fine. And time for one more cup of coffee before we start. I'm almost out of mine. My coffee. So I'm going to have to get some soon. And good morning to you, Donna, Carly, mwah. Always good to see you. Always a pleasure. And Chambana would probably be a rival town. Well, that's a possibility. Yeah, it's not every town. I don't know that every town has a real rival. Usually it's in the sports area in our area. For instance, where I grew up was Georgetown, which was 10 miles or so south of Danville on Route 1. And our rivals were our immediate city to the north, town to the north, which was Westville. And we have, and still continue to have, my understanding is, a game, like it's a rival feud game. And there's this thing called the Coal Bucket that I don't remember the origins of the rivalry, but it's this one award that whoever wins this game carries till the next year. So anyway, that's the only one I'm aware of. Of course, I lived in Georgetown, so let's see. I only listed the towns that we could beat. Champaign-Urbana would kick our patooties. Yeah, Georgetown sure wasn't on that list, that's for sure. And that's very true. And Skunk, we just rewatched Blues Brothers. I was pointing out all the places downtown that I've been. Yes. And good morning to Luke Stone Studios. Luke, my brother, how are you, my man? Hey, on Tuesday nights, when you aren't watching Clever Title Pending, Luke has a really good comic show that you need to pay attention to. And listening in the background while you work, Luke, we're always glad to hear you. Have you here, man. It does my heart good to have you here, brother. Luke is the writer and creator and artist of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, and I'm really looking forward to the next issue. I pledge to it. I pledge my allegiance to Luke Stone's output there. And sometime, Luke, I'm working on something. I want to get your green light on. It concerns something we were going to do for Terraform. I have an idea. Anyway, and it's a short thing. So anyway, that's what she said. Anyway, Ted Davies Artistry. Good morning, all. Ted, good to see you, my man. Ted is working on his Grim 101 book, working feverishly on that. I've read the copy on it. It's really, really good. I'm really looking forward to it. And also, please check him out tomorrow morning. Ted's Timepieces and Friday night. He and his darling wife, Chrissy, are going to get together on Drinking with the Davies at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and they're going to have some sort of alcoholic delight. And speaking of delights, there's Doris Jones, Labors of Love. Mwah, good morning to you, darling. Hope you are doing well. And Willow Schuyler, mwah, good morning to you. Oh, everyone, every early in the week, check out her page. Check out Willow. I do. And watch out for Willow's Pillow Talk. Plus, she's expanding her broadcasting on John B. Pica's Back of the Cereal Box Network. I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited for John. And yes, the updated schedule. Love it. Mostly because Dan Holofield did it instead of me. Yeah. Yeah, I know my limitations too, Carl. It's like, there's a reason I use paint.net, which, by the way, if you don't know what paint.net is, it is not Paint from Microsoft, nor is it that abominable Paint 3D. I cannot figure that out at all. But it's a little bit more robust, and it's like $4.99 or something like that, and you own it forever. You just have to, if you change computers, you just have to go into the place, put in your login, and then download the newest version. Plus, you get free updates forever. It's a wee bit more powerful than I would say it's a little bit more powerful than the old MS Paint. Not quite as robust as, say, Canva or Photoshop. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I like the program just fine. It's at my skill level because Cookie won't let me learn Photoshop. Something about me knowing enough as it is. Anyway, see you tonight, says Ted Davies Artistry at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on the Truthmongers. Ted and Glenn discuss mysteries of the moon. That's going to be fun. And everyone's saying hello. And we're going to say hello to Eric Hawkins. Good morning to you. Looking forward to tomorrow night. And Comic Book Spectrum, our weekly comic book commentary show. And that's been taking off, folks. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate it greatly. And Eric and I were at Heroes for Kids Con over the weekend. Had a fantastic time. And is it normal to be lightheaded, said Jake Lindsay. It's not unusual. It is. It's not unusual to go out at any time, but when I see you out and about, it's such a crime. I thought it was Tom Jones for a minute. No, in all seriousness, Jake, it is not unusual. Sometimes it can be a little lightheaded. You might have a snack or something when you feel this way. It might be your blood sugar. I had lightheadedness when I had my first shot. But I had something to eat, and I was perfectly all right once the stuff entered my system. So just treat this one symptom at a time. If you get a headache, take a painkiller. Like aspirin, ibuprofen, whatever, nothing serious, not like Tylenol 4 or anything. But just, take a, common over the counter, everything that don't be frightened, Jake. Remember, this has passed scientific inquiry. Yes, the process was sped up, but it wasn't shortcutted. And I'd like to know, which one did you get, the Moderna or the Pfizer or the Johnson & Johnson? But anyway, the process is safe. Actual scientists, Jake, have put it together. And just because it was fast-tracked, because people were dying of the COVID, Jake, we had to. But the process itself to make sure it is safe to go into your body was done by the book. Now, what delays a lot of medicine is simply red tape and a lot of bureaucracy. But this one, the former president pushed it through, said, we got to get this going, and you're safe, Jake. There is nothing to be afraid of. It's, and the thing is, like John P. Pica said last night, we've all gotten shots in the past. And this stuff, this isn't the only thing I've ever dealt with. I remember polio. I grew up with a young man who had polio. He was on crutches and he had health issues. I knew of a couple that had to live, almost live in iron lungs to help them breathe. But we've gotten, I've gotten shots for like measles, rubella. By the time you're in high school, you've got an army of shots. You've got this stuff running through you, brother, and you're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine, man. Just let it run its course and be patient. All right. And now the Eric Hawkins is here. Please put a like on this video. Yeah, I would wait till he shows up. But yeah, definitely, folks. If you're watching live or on the rerun, we appreciate your being here, and we would like it if you're on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up if you enjoy any part of this video. And, I forgot to put my banner up. Thank you for reminding me, Carl. Actually, I need to edit that. So anyway, I will edit that later. We'll go without today. But no, if you like any part of this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I welcome our latest subscribers. Thank you. I think we're up to 530 now. We are getting to our goal of 1,000 and rapidly. And we thank everyone who has helped in that regard. Also, if you're watching us on Facebook, on Kathy Jackson's Books, the Rising Tide Publications page, or the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page, please give the video again a like, and also please give the page a like. Yes, honey?
Need an envelope.
Did you find it?
There's the envelopes.
There's the envelopes, yeah. Oh, and you put some glue on them because they're old?
Oh, I didn't figure it
Or
out.
not old, or not glue, but, some tape. We see it?
Since we're hand delivering it, I don't see
anything. Oh, okay, yeah.
Extremely securely.
Okay, all right. That was the hand. The hand.
Now
Who-
the hand with the envelope.
The hand with the envelope, yeah. So anyway, I know gripping broadcasting, right? Boy, I can feel the subscribers lining up now. Thank you, honey. Anyway, yes, please put a like on this video, especially now Matt Shore is here. Good morning to you, sir. How you doing? John Scarborough, one of the golden lights of Stupid O'Clock and the Stupid After Show. John, good morning to you. Hope you're having a great one. Grant Lankard, they're all pouring in now. How are you? Had to turn down the volume because I was overwhelmed by Brian's manliness. That is, that's just inevitable, Grant. You may have to turn off your speakers entirely. You'll still hear me, okay? And hope everyone's having a great day. I hope you and Angie are too, Grant. How's your morning going? And I'll be appearing on Teresa's shows next Thursday. Okay, next Thursday. I didn't remember what day that was. But anyway, I will be looking forward to that. I will be there. And I will also be at the Historical Fencing Guild Friday on his YouTube channel and on Facebook on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Good morning, Nevermorians, your tireless sword master to end a late night session of game design throughout another Insomniac weapon trainer review. Barreling towards deadlines, the content keeps coming. You are a juggernaut of creativity, young man. Do not let anything stop you, my friend. And comment number 1. There we go. And here we go. We're going to try to catch up now. And morning all from the desk of Small Press Publisher. Brian, I love the thumbnail. Book so good that you must eat it up. It is not only delicious, it's nutritious. Get some Bachelors Grove goodness into you. Now part of a balanced breakfast. That and covfefe. Anyway, Joe D. McPhee, check him out Saturday night at 10 p.m. He is awesome. He is amazing. Love him to death. And from the desk of the artwork of Bill Sarton, good morning to the frazzled fuzzy Fezman and all of the nifty Nevermorians. Count your blessings and watch them multiply. Amen. Amen. Oh, I am blessed with coffee. Yes, what is it? Kroger's just started a morning blend that is just absolutely divine. Anyway, speaking of divine, there is Amy Hale. Good morning, all. Mwah, Amy. I might be in the Carbondale area on Friday night. We need to talk. And hashtag bring Cookie home. That is our goal. We are going to try to bring her home within a year or so. And the Historical Fencing Guild on YouTube says deadlines are actually amazing things. They motivate and inspire. Plus, working towards them inspires. Procrastination works. Great art comes from breaks and grinding away at a project. That's true. Are you Nick Tockard in the command seat there? And also check them out on Amazon. Do you find, like I do, that you have these bursts of creativity where we're working on a project, then you settle back and kind of give yourself, like if you do the Pomodoro thing, where you set back and kind of give your brain a chance to relax, and then suddenly you think of other things to do? That is my blessing and my curse. I do that constantly. But we get a lot of stuff done as a result. And Glenn B. Fleming, who will be joining Ted Davies Artistry tonight on the Truthmongers. Hey, Brian, Ted and I are on the Truthmongers at 7 p.m. your time tonight. And tonight we are discussing our Hollow Moon. It's going to be a good one. Last week's was sensational, fella. I am... when Ted Davies asked if he could put this on the network, I'm like, dude, if you didn't ask, I would have asked you to do so. That was a super show last week, and I'm really looking forward to tonight's. I will endeavor to be there, and I think everyone else should too. This is a show worth supporting. All of our shows are worth supporting. I love them all. And the artwork of Bill Sarton, Skunk Danville, Illinois does have zombies. They're the drug dealers, prostitutes, and gangbangers that only come out at night. I wish they only came out at night. I actually drove all the way down East Fairchild on a Sunday afternoon a few years ago. And it's like I've never been down there. I don't know what's down there. And now I know, and I got out of there as quickly as I could. It was let's just say it is economically disadvantaged. And Goodman does seem like a nice guy, says Eric Hawkins. Unless you know people who went to high school with him here in St. Louis, they say he was a prick. Really? Oh, that's interesting. It's funny, Eric. 2 of the members of Guns N' Roses actually grew up in Lafayette, Indiana, and they still remember Axl Rose. And Axl Rose is not one of the most beloved people in rock and roll. And if you talk to the locals here, They say the same thing, that he was an absolute a-hole growing up. Even when he was a kid, he was a brat. And then he became a teenager, and they're surprised, they knew he was a talented musician. And I'll give him points for that. But as far as being a warm and loving human being, he was the antithesis of it. And it was like, oh, you're going to Hollywood to be in show business? Good. Don't let the door slam you in the ass on the way out of town. But actually, one thing we do have here, Neil Armstrong went to Purdue. Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the hollow moon that Ted and Glenn are going to talk about tonight. And I wonder if Steve knows if there was like a hollow sound when Neil and Buzz were walking up there. You better ask Steve, Glenn. I think this is very important for tonight. You'll need your consultation with him. But yeah, and it's kind of funny, Eric, being in Danville. My mother grew up with Dick Van Dyke. In fact, he asked her out for a date a few times, and she said no because she thought he was insane. But he was doing local plays at Red Mask Theater. He was a radio disc jockey. He was a show. He would host shows like dances and stuff in the area. He was just an all-around entertainer back in his high school days, and everyone says he was a nice guy. But all the people from that time thought Dick Van Dyke was certifiably insane. Much like the people in Georgetown in the 60s and 70s with me. So, and look where I am today. Look where Dick is today. Dick's still running, too. I love that. And Jake Lindsay says, I just got the second dose while it hurt. They left in the needle whole minute. Yeah, you said that. Get past it. You'll just don't focus on it. Listen to my words, Jake. Listen to my words. Anyway, Grant Lanker, Dark Knight Rises, Night of the Living Dead, and Silence of the Lambs were filmed in Pittsburgh. Oh, that's right. That's right. And some of RoboCop was shot in Pittsburgh. That's beautiful. And you got confused by a comment dump again. Yeah, it's going to happen, Skunk. That's one of the things I hope StreamYard will work on. We get that notification that, yes, there's new comments. There's always new comments. But I don't like that thing where it gets enough comments come in that pushes up the thing. I don't think StreamYard is really built for a show like this. But then again, I don't think any platform is. We are Unique and Swaby and DeBoner. And Donna Carleen goes, there was a horror film of giant locusts that was shot and actually located in the film just northwest of Danville. I remember that. Now, I remember there was something similar back in the 50s. I can't remember the name of the film, but it was not set. It was not filmed in the Champaign. Actually, it was Rantoul, which is 15 miles north of Champaign, where the University of Illinois is. Used to be an Air Force base there and training center. There was a movie in the 50s about giant grasshoppers or something. That was set there, and I found out that what the producers did, it was kind of like the way Orson Welles picked Grover's Mill. They had a map of the U.S., and a guy had a dart in his hand, and he threw the dart, and it landed on Rantoul. And they did some research, and I think there were some references to local things there. And also in the movie Supergirl, if you check the thing where they're looking up where Linda Lee Danvers is supposed to live. It's right about where El Paso, Illinois is, just north of Bloomington Normal. So anyway, there's your geography lesson for this morning, kids. The glories that is Illinois. And Brian Rodman, good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. Hump Day is upon us. I've started my morning with a half pot of espresso. I can taste colors. It's going to be a good day. Happy new comic book day, and the glorious results of which will be seen tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum with Mr. Rodman, Mr. Pornsack, and Clyde Hall, who rises above our chicanery. Anyway, and beware of speeding concrete, my friends. They come up out of nowhere. Oh, this poor woman. I saw that. And even so, Willow, you're still beautiful. You know that? Not even a bruise or two can dim your beauty. Okay? And beware of speeding concrete, my friends. They come up out of nowhere. Watch your step and don't rush to get where you need to go. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time when you leave your home. I'm just glad you're okay, hon. I really am. And, I'm glad you came out as unscathed as you did. Okay. I love you, Willow. We all love you. You're adorable. You're great. And we look forward to your added responsibilities on John Pica's Back of the Cereal Box Network. And artwork of Bill Sartin. When I went to Schlarman High School, we had a big rivalry with Hoopston during football season. Schlarman High School had an official corn jerker day where everyone dressed up like hayseed farmers. Of course, for me, it was just an excuse to wear my bell-bottom Levi jeans and Chuck Taylor high-top sneakers. Oh my God, yes! I remember when I went to Danville Junior College. My mother bought me shoes. And I'm in my I'm in my late teens. My mom's buying me shoes, but they fit because she knew my size. But I swear they had heels like this tall. They were like disco. They were a combination of like disco and hiking boots. They were brown, which I've never worn brown shoes except for these, except as a kid when I had no choice. And this pair, because they were kind of cool, but I felt like I was getting nosebleed every time I put them on. But I've never really been attracted to brown shoes for myself since the song Brown Shoes Don't Make It by the Mothers of Invention. It's like every time I look at that, I keep hearing brown shoes don't make it, and I'm like, okay, I'm backing off, Frank Zappa. And Ryan Permison, good morning to you. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm glad to hear that, Ryan. We are awesome. I'm glad to hear you are doing the same. And check out the latest episode of the podcast, Talking Movies, on Anchor FM, the Nerdcast, episode 107. I remember when it was only 96. They grow up so quickly. And poor Willow. Yes, Carl, I'm sure you're with me wishing you could nurse her back to health, right? And Ryan Permison, subscribe to the Nerd Culture channel today on YouTube for great nerdy content. It is. And Scott Crocker says, yeah, I know Blues Brothers was not only partially filmed in Des Plaines, where I'm from, but also on the street I grew up on, Thatcher Street. No, you can't see my old house in the film. Well, you can't see my old house when I was a teenager in Georgetown, because when my mother passed away, we sold the property to her next door neighbor, because they were best friends, and they tore down the house. So it's like to make room for a garage for their fishing boat. I'm like, have at it. Make some joy for yourselves. So that was cool. And Joe Bachman, good morning. Good to see you, sir. And good morning and happy Hump Day, Nevermorians. Happy Hump Day to you, my friend. Hope you and the missus are doing great. And in Blues Brothers, says Carl Wisman, they are speeding down Lower Wacker Drive at high speed. And he laughs. You can't drive 10 miles an hour down there due to traffic. Yeah, that's how you could tell it was blocked off. I've been down Wacker before, too. In fact, most of downtown Chicago, I hate driving up there. I really do. I am getting kind of precious in my old age. I don't like driving in a lot of big cities. I can do it, but the problem is with me, and this has been a problem I noted back in my 20s, was that I am Mr. Road Rage. I am a total a-hole sometimes. I was going down, Mannheim Drive one night, and it's kind of twisty and turny through the forest there at one point in the southwest suburbs. And there was this one guy I saw, he was just like weaving in and out of traffic. And so I was timing my car to like catch up to someone, and so he couldn't pass, so he'd have to brake, and because that's dangerous. That stuff's dangerous. And then I'd speed up a little so it looks like I'm passing. They'd swerve in behind me, and then I'd slow down so the other car would pass me again. Oh, he was unhappy with me. I could tell. I could see him shaking his fist in my rearview mirror. But it made for entertainment. Anyway, Ryan Permison says, in case you missed it, check out the latest episode of And I Quote with veteran artist, the artwork of Bill Sartin, who is very, very talented. I've seen his work. He is amazing. And check out his Facebook page, SartinArt76. And check out And I Quote. It's a great, great show. Ryan does a super job on it. And if you have summer reading recommendations, please send them to Ryan via Facebook Messenger, if you would. Has anyone recommended, oh gosh, I know I'm getting the name wrong. Evolution Man by Charles F. Milhouse. I'm halfway through that right now, and I'm digging it. It's kind of his love letter to the $6 Million Man TV show, and it's so good. It is so very good. And John Scarborough, I know you. You're one of the guiding lights on Stupid O'Clock Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Saturdays, and also you stick around for the Last Man Standing with Dan Holofield. It's good to see you, John. Always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. And oh my goodness, says Brian Rodman, I only have a few pages left until the nebulizer is finished in all caps. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing when you're giggling nonstop as you draw your comic. Oh my gosh, Brian, after talking to you at Imaginarium, it almost makes me want to take up the art pen again, because I saw how you worked on your tablet and everything. I'm like, I've got an iPad. I can do that stuff. I am seriously thinking about trying to work on something in my spare time. Not that I'm any good at it. I'm a stronger writer than I am an artist. But anyway, being an artist has helped me be a better writer. So, and spots are open for, and I quote, says Ryan Permisson, who is the host and would know. We are live Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, but if we need to record, we can do that. We have a friendly conversation and promote your project. Sign up at that calendly.com site there and book yourself onto that amazing show. And the artwork of Bill Sargent says the bird's the word when you get Cindy Keff's nice and nifty newsletter at ckoepp.com. It is truly something to tweet about. She's going to have her next issue in about 4 days. Speaking of which, did anyone get my newsletter for July? Okay, because I think I didn't check on it after it launched, but I think MailChimp messed it up, which means I've got most of next month's done. And I used to do MS Paint art. I was a weird kid. I set up at a show. In fact, it was at Fowler Public Library with Nick Tockert and Lacey Lemke. And there was a guy there who specialized in MS Paint art. And he was really good at it. And the thing is, I think MS Paint, from my point of view, you probably could do really good stuff with it if you were patient. I definitely recommend MS Paint, which I think you can still get as a download, but they've got that the abominable Paint 3D. I think it's awful. I can't work it. But if you do paint.net, do a search for paint.net. It's $4.99. You own it eternally, and it's kind of like Open Office or one of those, in that people keep tweaking it, and it is a lot better. I've known about it for 10 years, and it's significantly better than when I first got it. But it's like, well, for you're working in Photoshop, you won't need it, but for those of us who are not inclined to study Photoshop in all of its glory, or someone won't let me because I've got too much to do. But it's a good workable thing. It's not as versatile as Photoshop, but for the price, it does everything I need it to do. And Brian Rahman, don't giggle too much. You might pass out, says Eric Hawkins. Eric, I've got $10 on 11 a.m. Okay. Anyway, and which shot did Jake get? He got the shot for the My Sharona Miley Cyrus, and right now he is having the memory RNA of it's what the little girls do, and Wrecking Ball coursing through his manly veins right now. Grant Lankard says Tom Jones impersonation is not unusual to feel a little lightheaded. Yeah, I sang that too, Grant. Yeah. I love Tom Jones. I think he is one of the greatest vocalists. And the guy's about he's in his 70s, I think. Like late 70s, maybe early 80s, and my God, I've seen him. He can still work a crowd. He gets the ladies a screaming. He's got, I think, one of the best voices in all of rock history. And he did with The Art of Noise back in the 80s. He did a cover version of Kiss by Prince. I actually like Tom's version better because I think he's a better vocalist. So anyway, Brian Rahman says he's also writing Memoirs of an Angel number 8 and 9. And folks, get ready to feel the feels. Ooh. Okay, I'm okay. Get ready for haunting action and get ready for deep topics. Quite the opposite of the nebulizer. And here we go. Ace Bonnie, good morning to you. Glad to have you here. Good morning. Men that kiss their wife every morning live 5 years longer than the others. I kiss her every morning, except when we've really got, we're on a tight deadline. Here's a little glimpse behind the throne here. We snuggle, we kiss, we smooch, we start and end every day with I love you. So, and we've been married for over 30 years now. How she's done it, I don't know. But that's how I've done it, and it's kept me alive. And available now on Amazon is Snow Shorts Volume 1 by Bobby Nash and others. Buy it today. Yes, that's a super book. And I will be in Volume 2. So looking forward to that. So please check it out. And also please check out Snow Ambition, my latest book from Ben Books. Only 99 cents on Amazon. And Grant Lankard, what about men that kiss their cats? Oh, must not comment. I got the Pfizer vaccine, both doses at a Kroger. Yeah, I do too. Hey, Jake, check your email in a few weeks. Kroger is having a special contest. Oh, this is kind of cool. To incentivize people to get their shots, because we're something like 68% have had at least one dose of one of the vaccines. And they're saying if we can get up to 70%, we are on the verge of herd immunity, which is good. It's what we need. But anyway, Kroger sent me an email like 2 weeks ago. I'm entered into a contest to win $1 million. And they have something like, I don't know if it's the whole state of Indiana or what, but anyway, they're giving away something like 5 $1 million prizes. I mean, we're not talking, $1 million worth of something. We're talking cash. We're talking moolah. But the secondary prizes, and they're giving away a lot of those, is a year's worth of groceries. Man, if that doesn't help your budget, I don't know what will. We could probably pay off our credit card at the end of the year if we got that. And I can't decide which I want more. The million would be nice, but the gift, you get like a $13,000 gift card, which is a start. And you just take it to your Kroger and spend it like it's a real thing. And I'm like, yeah, I can do this. This would be great. John Scarborough says, I still do MS Paint art. I can remove photo red eye better than most new programs. Yeah, that was always good. That was always good for stuff. And I will admit that the most of the artwork that I do in preparation for Clever Title Pending, and I've been doing for until Clyde has taken it over, thank God, for Comic Book Spectrum, have been with mypaint.net. John, you might check out paint.net. Like I said, it's a little more powerful than MS Paint. I liked MS Paint. It for what I needed it to do, it was just fine. Historical Fencing Guild says paint.net is basically a moderately powerful drawing program that has layers, but has a user interface much like MS Paint, so it's incredibly easy to learn. I use it for a lot of my art. Okay, cool, good. I'm in good company then. That's awesome. Speaking of good company, here's the best. It's Sarah. Mwah! Morning advice needed. How do I tell people I care about what it's like to have PTSD without sounding like I want sympathy wagon or a pity party? I think I'm wording it wrong. I love you, sweetheart. Wow, that's a heavy question, hon. My own opinion, which it's my show, you're going to get it. It's kind of like saying you have any ailment. People don't understand. Like I've had for over 10 years, I've had a heart murmur. I've got hypertension. But my cholesterol's under control now. But, people hear that and they think you're on the verge of death. Now I'm at the point now where I'm going to have a doctor's appointment next week to have my heart looked at. I'm still okay, folks. Don't panic. But see, notice how I had to couch that. How to say it so people don't say it. You just, you can tell people what I would do if it were me. If I had that, I would simply say, I have, and don't just say PTSD, just spell out the whole thing. Say that I've had some trauma in my life and I am still working through it, like we all have to do. And I have to live my life in a certain way and put up barriers in certain places to prevent me from being harmed again. I have to take special care of myself. And your friends will understand. And if they don't understand, then tell them to go screw themselves dry and sideways. You don't need people like that in your life. And I think you're going to find the people that understand you and love you as I do, as Cookie does, as a lot of people do, that they will understand and respect your boundaries, respect the boundaries that you have erected to deal with this challenge. And to all, and you can also say we all have it to one degree or another, because things that happen in our lives influence who we are now. And you are working towards your better you, although the current you is pretty damn awesome. It really is. And you've come a long way just in the brief time I've known you, Sarah. So I don't know a good way. I think Carl would probably have a better advice than I do, but know that I love you, and we'll help you get through it. And John Scarborough, I got the Moderna. It wasn't too bad. That's the one I got. And my first one, I had some problems with my blood sugar right away. I was fine once I had lunch, and I had some lightheadedness, some dizziness. But then my second shot, I didn't even have so much of a sore arm. The second shot, I was told I'd have more symptoms. So I went in fully. I went and I was hydrated, and I had a snack before I went in. And I had what felt like the onset of a cold for about 36 hours. I had a little bit of brain fog. And my arm was sore for about a week where I'd gotten the shot. But like I said, it was like I was sitting in a chair, and I was feeling kind of meh. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fine now. So yeah. And I have had friends who have had the COVID. In fact, I saw one of them this weekend. He's still dealing with it. And John B. Pike, Lord knows that man's had challenges because of it. And I've had a friend that died because of it, and he had pneumonia for a month. He and his wife both. I'd rather have the side effects than what it's curing. I saw a good video the other day, and it was from a doctor. He said, if you have any, because he was talking about this guy, his grandmother, which was like in her late 70s, and was terrified to take the shot because, just like Jake, listened to a bunch of idiotic a-holes who would rather draw attention to themselves by fear-mongering rather than dispensing facts like what we try to do here. And this doctor, Dr. Mike, I recommend his YouTube channel for anyone. Great common sense, great sense of humor, and I've learned a lot from it. But he said, and he addressed the grandmother directly. He said, listen, I want you to play this for your grandma. He said, the thing is, this has been scientifically tested. Like I said earlier, it has, although it was fast-tracked, it still had to meet the terms of the test. It still had to be effective, and it still had to be as safe as possible. And we have taken shots all of our lives. You just may not be remembering it. Like when you start school, they don't let you in until you get inoculated. And, the thing is, up in the Northwest, when parents were doing the anti-vax thing because of Dr. Jim Carrey and all that, well, you know what? That's when they had measles outbreaks up there. Because when we're all, that's how we've defeated things like smallpox and polio, because the rest of us got that shot by having good solid science inside of us, and said that if you hear this from somebody don't listen. Don't listen to anyone you know. Don't listen to anyone who's on YouTube. If they have even me, please question what I say. If you see somebody on the internet, if they have their own show, don't listen to them. Go to your local doctor. Go to your personal physician and talk to them, or even better, go to their nurse, because they are so much better at explaining things than doctors tend to be, because they deal with people all the time, much more so than doctors. So there you go. And Brian Rodman, the vaccine. I love that I can push my temples and hear the government telling me what to do now. Oh, it really helps with the clarity. In all seriousness, I'm so thankful for the vaccine. Yeah, I am too. And I was nervous. I was a little trepidatious, just like Jake was, because I'd had the worst reaction to a flu shot that I had ever had. In fact, I was, let's put it this way. I was in a situation where even if I could have called, I was on the verge of calling for an ambulance. I wouldn't have been able to do so when I was by myself. So I think that's why Cookie's treating me like a China doll these days. But anyway, but I am thankful for it too, because it allowed me and Brian Rodman to hug the hell out of each other a couple weekends ago. Don't think that I wasn't grateful. Seriously. And Sarah, hi, Cookie. Hi. Mwah. She sends her love too, I'm sure. And Corel's Paint Shop Pro is almost as good, if not better, than Photoshop, and only a quarter of the cost. Yeah. Ooh, I love Cookie too. Here's why. Here we go.
All right, hon, that's the last drop. Even though it's not Maxwell House.
Oh, it's good to the last drop, though. Thank you, sweetheart. Sarah says, hi, Cookie. And Legend Traveling Tars, good morning, the hand that rocks the Morris Monster. That's right, that was her just now. And number 3 there. Here we go. Comment dump. And I'm sorry I'm so far behind. But you guys have good comments this morning. I'm proud of y'all. There we go. And Grant Lankard, everything cheaper than Photoshop. Grr. Yeah, and it's now on a subscription service. You almost have to be a professional just to afford it. We can't justify it. Although, Grant, I will say Cookie has found one. It is a one-time cost, and it is like probably 99% able to emulate Photoshop. If you're not friends with Cookie already, send me a PM and I'll get the name of that program for you. And the question in the envelope is, has the historical fencing killed 3 goats in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And Brian's gender reveal. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I got to pick one eventually, don't I? And yes, Grant, Adobe wants all your money. Yeah, that's I remember a day when Adobe was affordable. Good Lord. And Grant Lankard, whenever Cookie hands Brian something, it reminds me of that Michelangelo painting where God and Adam touch fingers. Yeah. Yeah. In my case, it's more like, hey, Cookie, pull this. Scott Greiger says, from the desk of the artwork of Bill Sartin, it still makes sense, kind of. See, I told you. It's a new merger. It's kind of an acquisition. And the artwork of Bill Sartin, set your alarms this Thursday night at 8 p.m. for Stupid O'Clock. That's Central Time, hosted by Joe McKeel. Then stay for the after show. Dan Holofield's Last Man Standing. Join us for the fun, and you may learn something before it's done. Don't tell people that, Bill. Good Lord, they'll never show up now. Okay, here we go. They will have naked people dancing on tables, and they'll be giving away a $2 billion prize by the end of the show. Make sure you're watching. How's that? And how many Bachelors Grove comics are you planning to publish? I think, well, originally, Sarah, the plan was to have about 18 by the time we had wrapped up original plans. And then Charles arbitrarily decided that we were going to have 6 and some specials. Now I have no idea. I think I have written enough by myself that we could probably have at least 8 issues. And that's not counting stuff that we have in the hopper from Todd Black, Kenny Sills, Paul Burrell, other people that I have worked with. But I'm kind of out of the loop on that, Sarah, so I really couldn't tell you. Although, sweetheart, I'm saving back an issue for you. I'm going to give you one of the variants, okay? And Brian Rodman, yes, the hand of Cookie blesses us with her presence and with presence. That's right. And Amy Hale, great. Would love to see you. Good, Amy. I've got some errands to run early afternoon, but this afternoon tonight we'll talk about. Because I forgot to mention this. I am at the Muddy Monster Comic Con, a brand new convention happening this weekend in Murfreesboro, Illinois, which is just west of Carbondale, the Southern Illinois University campus, at the Davis McCann Civic Center at 15 North 14th. That's going to be a good time. And I am going to be interviewing at 2 p.m. Jason Font, who played the Red Ranger on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Time Force, Wild Force, Mega Force, Super Mega Force, and Ninja Seal. But anyway, I checked out his history. He's a Chicago boy. He's a Chicago guy. And he's a working guy, too. You see a couple of actors that get in these kid shows, and the only acting they do is just in relation to the kid show. This guy's had a number of roles. He's done soaps. He's done horror movies. He's done some producing. I'm really looking forward to meeting the guy. The guy's name is Jason Faunt, Faunt, and he will be at the convention this Saturday. It's going to be from 10 to 5 Central Time, and I will be there with brand new issues of number 2 and number 1 of the Haunting Tales of Bachelors Grove, with a lot of my stories in there. And number 2 is going to premiere the new adventures of Master Ron Fitzgerald and Kadrolsha Ona, Carol, the real life queen of the paranormal. And it turned, they both the stories turned out great. And plus I'm working with my old friend Claudio Adriano on the lead story in number 2. It is a treat. It is a real treat. And thank you to Charles de Moissant for getting me my copies this last weekend. Plus, we'll have copies of Pulp Reality. We're running out of the Nightmare Oasis. This may be your last chance to pick one up, with your local author, Rick Bradley, in it. And just all kinds of goodness coming in. So please come check it out. And check out the event page on Facebook. Grant Lanker said, I had kind of crazy comic book idea last night, but I think that's okay. I'm kind of thinking the crazier the better. Yeah, dude. Push the limits. Seriously. Because that's how we get great comics, Grant. I say give it a go, dude. And the Historical Fencing Guild says, Grant, if you want a powerful image editor, much like Photoshop or Clip Art Studio. Yeah, I was looking at Clip Art the other day, and I thought, well, maybe I need to get really better to the point where I need something more robust. There's also Canva. A lot of paperback book designers use Canva, and Canva's free. So that's something else you can look at too. And Damian Waldron, I think aren't you my new Patreon subscriber, Damian? I will get your name onto the list as soon as I can. And I thank you, my friend. Thank you for your support. And good morning. My brain is the same. Sometimes a smooth with the ride and sometimes a train wreck. Yeah. Oh man, mine is, you can hear the engineer honking the horn every turn. You know what I'm saying, in my head? That's why we have Covfefe, the lubricant upon which the gears of creativity grind. Damien, it is so good to have you here. Hope you're having a great morning, my friend. And look into the art program. Krita, yes, that's another good one, too. Yeah, check that out. And I will have to look. I'll have to get that name from Cookie of that one. And it's really affordable. I think it's way under $100. For this one art program. And like it says, she uses it for her book covers and her graphics, and it can do everything Photoshop, or probably like 99.9.4.4% of what Photoshop can do. It's really good, and it can save it in any format you want. Brian Rodman says, but anyway, today is new comic book day. Be sure to wander into your local comic shop and spend all your money there. Who needs food when you have comics? Amen. Says the man who weighs over 300 pounds and makes comics. Yeah, and I'm pushing back up there again myself, which is means I've got to lose about 20 pounds before I go to the doctor a week from tomorrow. So anyway, lots of laxatives. Anyway, but no, seriously, don't do that. But yeah, today I think I'm supposed to be getting the second issue of Supergirl, The Woman of Tomorrow, and I think it's Superman and the Authority, which I'm really looking forward to, because it starts out in 1960s with John F. Kennedy, and I'm thinking it's Grant Morrison. I'm aboard for the ride. And it's a 4-issue miniseries. Plus, I just signed up for Superman, Son of Kal-El, written by Tom Taylor, who is one of my favorite writers right now. He's been writing the Injustice series, among others, and Injustice was like, wow, this guy has no boundaries. Plus, he recently wrote Deceased, DCEAS. Anyway, which is heads and shoulders above Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies, I gave up on. It's like, is there a story here? But Deceased has been wonderful because, one, it came up with a valid way to spread a zombie plague across the world that makes perfect sense. And then the latest volume is the comeback of humanity. And I love the comeback. Anyway, Carl Whitson, back in the day when I would buy my porn on Brian's store on Main Street, there were always zombies walking around in front of the shop. Yeah, that wasn't exactly the most wonderful neighborhood. I was always grateful that we closed at 5:30. Yeah, in fact, when we moved to East West Street or whatever, across from, almost across the street from the senior center, where you and Donna and I met. I never liked winter because it was dark when I got out. And then because we had some strange people. One of the stories I can tell you, because a few of them are a little graphic, but this one guy came in, and man, you could almost see the air shimmer around him. But he came in, we had a back room where we sold adult entertainment. And we also had a men's room. And it was not the nicest men's room, but it was clean. The owner and I saw to that. But this guy, when you can smell him like almost outside the door, outside the building, and then he comes in and he is just absolutely reeking. And then he turns to me at one point after, and he's not there to buy. He's just there to look at the dirty pictures. And then he turns to me and goes, "Where's your bathroom? I got it." And he tells me what he's got to do. And I'm thinking, no way in hell. So I'm standing in front of the door. I'm leaning on it. In fact, I said, "We don't have one." And he goes, "Well, what do you do when you got to go?" I said, "I don't. That's what makes me so damn mean." And he just like, and I didn't think a man of his size could move that quickly. And then I locked the door and used the bathroom. Anyway, but yeah. Danville's had more than its share of zombification, particularly in the downtown area. And, it is sad in a way. It is sad. And Jake is leaving Kroger now. I bought a cheetah plush to calm my nerves. Jake, whatever it takes, brother. You are on your way to wellness. Just let science work its magic. Remember, Jake, God created science. All right. And, oh, great. Jake's turning into a furry. Does that mean I should bring him with me to HoloCon, October 29th, 30th, and 31st in Dalton, Georgia? Anyway, Brian Robbins says, I'm sure people I went to high school with think I am a dick. Oh, my God. You took words right out of my brain about me and Georgetown High, because I was to some people in high school. Thankfully, I'm not that person I was 20 years ago. I'm not even the person I was 10 years ago. Yeah, and I was kind of a jerk when I was in high school, too. I really was bad at interpersonal relationships, particularly romantic one. I think I owe some women. I think I owe at least one teacher an apology, and I do owe a couple of ladies some apologies. It took me a while to become the Swavian deboner person you see before you now. It was funny. I was talking to an old friend of mine from college at one point, and she was like, "Why did you never ask me out?" And I'm like, I just, just could not do it. I didn't have what it takes. And she thought, and she's like, "Well, we always thought you had your act together." I'm like, because of circumstances around that time, I was as far from together as you could imagine. I just put on a good act, to get through the day. So seriously, we have evolved, and it's the people that don't evolve that frighten me. The song "Glory Days" by Bruce Springsteen. I know people that are lit. That's their theme, like high school was the best time of their lives. It was 4 years of barely relenting hell for me. So anyway, Carl Westman says, "Go home and lie down, Jake. Get off the internet and rest." Yeah, seriously, get off the internet. That will help you more than anything. And don't listen to anyone telling you shouldn't have gotten what you did. Jake, here's the thing. As a Christian, it is my personal belief you owe it to yourself to get the shots, because Jesus tells us, to treat others as we would like ourselves to be treated. You'd like the people around you to be well, wouldn't you? Well, now you have ensured that not only your health, but the health of everyone around you. And I'm not talking about your family. I'm talking about people at your shows. I'm talking about people you don't even know you met. You've just done something to help save dude, you just helped save the world. I'm not joking, man. You've done something super heroic. You are a magician, my man. You are a magician. And zooming Steve right now, Glenn B. Fleming. Yeah, you better check in with Steve. He could, any sort of, he's probably got Bigfoot making eggs for him right now in his basement. and it doesn't even have a stove. I'm a little concerned about that. Grant Liker says, for now, Photoshop CS6 works on my computer for now. I'm going to use it until I have to upgrade to an operating system where it doesn't work. Grant, the thing is, I've talked to several comic book artists who have like 4 or 5 versions of Photoshop because they don't get an upgrade. They just get the new version because sometimes features, I don't know if it's still true or not, but the features would drop out of the program. And so if they had one they like, they keep that because it might not be in the next one. And so, they have to switch through different versions of Photoshop, and I'm glad I don't have to do it. And Brian Van Dyke, could have been. Yeah, instead of the goof who did give me half his DNA. Oh, dear God. And as per your request, became the final rise. Thank you. Because it takes a lot of time to read those things, man. I'm already behind. Scott Crocker, or become so successful that you can pay for Photoshop CC and it's awful subscription service BS, or so immoral you don't care to pirate it. And that's more likely in my case. And Scott Crocker, is immoral the right word for that? The code of ethics where it's okay to rip off the people who are trying to rip you off? Asking for a friend. No, it's not okay. Skunk, I will say it is kind of like that routine of Chris Rock's about O.J. Simpson. It's not right, but I understand. In 1957, beginning of the end. Yes, thank you, beginning of the end. Thank you, John Scarborough. That's why Stupid O'Clock is the smartest and funniest conversation show on the interwebs, and I'm putting myself up there. We are dullards. Anyway, Wills, it's only you guys that make the show palatable. Will Schuyler, this week I'm giving my face a rest from broadcasting, hopefully from your impromptu roller derby with the sidewalk. I'm allowing the bruises and the swelling to take its course. Monday wasn't so kind to me. I face planting running to my bus. Oh, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I mean, I've done that before myself, and we're glad that you weren't hurt any more than you were. But please, Willow, you got to take care of yourself because this world and we need you. And that's exactly right, John, in the town of Ludlow, the home of Rose Robeck. There we go. And Scott Crocker, it's how I use OBS at the wrestling shows for the entrance videos. And when I complain about certain things in the software, making it more difficult for me to do that the designers are like, we designed the software for people to stream video games on Twitch. We didn't design it for people to do live events off the internet. Bro, can't it do both? Versatility. That's what I believe in. Yeah, and doing what we do here is so much simpler than sharing your PS2. Why is it can't do the simple stuff? It's kind of like an old comic book, Not Brand X, where there was a parody of Thor by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, where Thor is going up to Heimdall and say, "Oh, Heimdall, who can see, read a pamphlet in far off Disneyland, who can hear the far off, flutterings of a hummingbird's wings on the other side of the galaxy." And there's Heimdall wearing these thick Coke bottle glasses going, "Yeah, but I'm a little shaky on things up close. How about stepping back a few million miles so I can make you out?" Yeah. And nothing is broken, folks. Thank you, Willow. I'm in good spirits. Will just look like I picked a fight with Sylvester Stallone for a while. Oh, it could always be worse. Anyway, it could have been worse. It could have been Mike Tyson. At least you still have your ears. Donna, Carly, Carlene, Grasshoppers, Locusts, pretty much the same thing to Hollywood. Yeah, that's true. And here we go. Now, see, I'm gonna make, let's see if, okay, I'll read it just this one last time. We're trying to get away from the naughty stuff, Christian, as you who spent time in Facebook jail should know. Arise, Wednesday, Morris the Monster. Rise, speaking of which, launch your Bezos bullet to the sky and release into the vacuum of space, penetrate deep into the unknown, and uncharted until pure satisfaction until the peasants of that world curse you and Dr. E, those memes. Fly up and deep until you reach that destination called the weekend and dive deep into the cleaves of the Michaela Jade end of line. Thank you. Reaching the end of line especially. And Brian Rodman, Brian can attest, Bill Sarn, I have high top Batman chucks. I love them. Those are beautiful. And yeah, disco hiking boots. That's what they look like, with a little bit of dog patch in them. Because they have this, how most shoes are like this, going from the top of the arch down to the toes. Well, this had like they look like Mammy Yoakum, it looked like what Mammy Yoakum would give to Lil Abner. You know what I'm saying? And nerd. Guilty as charged. And Eric, says Brian Rahman is for when you're jamming out to the Bee Gees while wandering the wilderness. Yeah, see? Eric Hawkins says, I bet Brian dressed like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch in the 70s. I was actually, I wanted to be. I did have something like that when I was in 6th grade. My mother bought me an ensemble. It's like, this is probably why I started shopping for myself at an early age. But no, she bought me, it was actually looked like something out of the Monkees. It was a silk shirt with big, and I mean big, bright. The shirt was bright red silk with big yellow polka dots on it, and corduroy pants that were flared at the bottom, and a big belt. The belt itself was this thick, and the circle thing, it looked like the belts the Monkees wore in their first season, with this huge circlet at the buckle. And I look good in it. I really look good. It did not age well. By the time we got out of the Summer of Love, I was already passé. And Scott Cracker said, this is why the film Falling Down depicts city traffic the most accurately. You're not going anywhere. You might as well get out and walk. Yeah, seriously. That was the thing. I was watching 24 for a while, and I think that was one episode that took place in Chicago. And they said, well, I've got to get down to the other side of Chicago. They were in like the north suburbs, and they had to get down to the south suburbs. And they said they did it in 1 hour. My butt, they did it in 1 hour. I mean, when I would visit, my one publisher lived in Oak Park, and it would take me an hour just to get to Oak Park. And that was pretty much even with Chicago. There was still about another hour and a half, 2 hours north to go. And I can see that, Eric, says Carl Wisman. The artwork Bill Sargent says, Willow, I feel for you. I tripped while working in the garden center at Menards and slammed face first into the blacktop. For the next 3 weeks, I looked like a Batman villain. My mom fell down one time in Rockville, Indiana. She tripped on the sidewalk, and she did a face plant. I think that's one of the reasons I haven't been back to Rockville since '76, or at least for the Covered Bridge Festival. And from the desk of the Small Press Publisher, 10 p.m. every Saturday night. Check it out. Great show. Yes, driving in big cities is like me driving in suburbs of small town. Where you're from determines how much rage you may have when out of your normal driving environment. Yeah, I realized, Joe, how bad mine was when I was on the Tri-State Tollway back in the early 80s, which at the time was always perpetually under construction. And we were coming up from Champaign, and we'd get on the Tri-State and then cut across to Rosemont for Chicago Comic-Con when it was at the Ramada out there. Now it's the No-Tell Motel, I think. But anyway, a lot of great memories, so. But we would take that, and I remember we hit a traffic jam one morning, and I remember leaning out the window screaming obscenities like a train conductor. I was out the window screaming obscenities and shaking my fist, and I got back in the car to actually drive, and the horrified expressions of my passengers made it all worthwhile. Anyway, apparently speech to text on Android phones doesn't know the word albeit. And for some reason, it always translates it to albeit. So either I'm pronouncing it wrong or it's stupid. Your diction is good, Skunk. I blame your phone. Brian Robbins says, I gotta tell you, I've used Photoshop and other programs like it. Nothing beats Clip Studio Paint X, in my opinion. It is tailor-made for creating comics. Yeah, I have Manga Studio 5, and they don't support it anymore. So I am seriously thinking about getting clip art now. I know Cookie will have an objection. You don't need that. Actually, I want to get it for my iPad, which is another device. So then I'd have to get the pen, and it's a business expense. And Brian Rodman continues, says, Brian, draw the draws, do it. Well, you saw what I gave you, those digest comics. That's what we called them back in the day. Now they're more like ash cans. But on those books, I did the layouts on Miraculous Mouse. We credited Russ Gonder with the art, and he did a beautiful job. And he did amplify what I gave him. But I did the layouts on those. And in fact, in the last story in the Miraculous Mouse special, the top panel where it's the multiple images, I drew, I think, most of them, because Russ had done like about three of them, and then the mouse flies off, and I drew the ones in between them to create kind of a continuity, because I wanted to show how fast he was truly moving. But yeah, I would draw stuff, and I have some other stuff that I drew completely myself. I had a line called Shameless Comics, one issue of which never got produced, and it was based on my experiences at a wretched Doctor Who convention in Champaign, Illinois in 1986. And what I was very proud of called When Ponies Ruled the Earth. I may have, every now and then I get the urge to redraw them. And thanks for all the encouragement. I'm going to try to sleep a little. Much love. Jake, the best thing in the world for you, brother. Just take it light, man. Let the stuff do its thing. And Damian Waldburn says, the nebulizer looks amazing. I'm humbled to be a part of it. Dude, be proud of your part in it. Man, I was knocked out when I saw the toy in person. It's gorgeous. Man, you are a super talent. We're going to have to do business someday. And an artwork of Bill Sargent says, join the Far Island Groovy Kids by clicking on Sarnart76 on Facebook for better days from yesteryear. My snazzy, jazzy sketches and other goofy goodies will tickle your innards, just like Old Mountain Dew, and warm your heart. Plus, my artwork is always available for purchase safe and securely through PayPal, so make sure to hit the follow button on the artwork of Bill Sargent on Facebook, where everything old is new again. Rick Radley says, good morning, Nevermorians. Hope everyone is well today. We are fantastic. How the heck are you, my friend? Hope to see you this weekend at the Muddy Monster Comics convention from 10 to 5 at the Davis McCann Civic Center, 15 North 14th Street in Murfreesboro, Illinois. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. And thanks, Damien. I'm humbled by your amazing talent and your drive, says Brian Rodman. And dude, your toys are amazing. I love working with you. And Tom Jones is 81. Holy cats. And you know what? He still's got it. He's well, the thing is, I read several articles back in the 60s that after one of his performances, somebody went up to him backstage, to Jones backstage, and said, listen, I'm a vocal coach. And I've got to tell you, you keep singing the way you are. You ask him, what kind of training have you had? And Tom's like, none. I've just sung all my life. And he said, well, okay. At the rate you're going, your voice has a year and a half before you lose it completely. Will you start taking lessons? And that's when Tom was doing like a whole bunch of rockers, like, It's Not Unusual. And then he slowed down to do things like the Green Grass of Home. There was like 2 or 3 albums where he did like slower songs. It was during that time he was actually learning how to sing properly. How to use his voice and how to preserve his voice. That's why he's 81 and he can still cut records that would put any 20-year-old to shame. Seriously. And Chris Walker, good morning to you, Chris. Those are lovely, those men who only kiss their cats. I'm not here to judge, you freaks. Anyway, Brian Robin, man, YouTube really doesn't like you even mentioning that they have a place for you to buy product. I simply mentioned it and the comment didn't show up in the feed. I didn't even put the web ad in there. Wow, YouTube, get off it. All right. And Christian Basil, Sarah Dark, yep, she's here. And Eric Hawkins, what product did you mention, Brian? I can try and post a link. Yeah, please help him out. And thank you, Eric. And Ted Davies Artistry, Drinking with the Davies. It's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Chris and Ted are mixing up the hibiscus watermelon whiskey smash. Wow. Why do I need a cigarette after reading that? Holy cats, that sounds good. And and there we go. And Eric is going to help Brian Rodman out. And Saturday morning, recovering with the Davies. Yeah. There we go. That's it, Carl. Saturday morning, you all should do a hungover green room. I don't know that I'll be, I'm going to try to be there this week, but I will be close to my venue on Friday night. So this last weekend, I'm 65, folks. I can't quite do a lot of things. I can do that though, like I used to, and it's starting to. I'm thinking I may only have a couple more years of personal appearances unless I get really big and I can hire like a crew to tote all my crap for me. But much love to Sarah Kester and to Matthew Jackson and his son for helping me last weekend. I can use it. Oh man, it's tiring, especially when you're driving like 5 or 6 hours. I do try to get out, but and walk around just so I don't look like like I need a walker when I get out at the Casey's. But was it going down there? I got out. I got out of the car like about every 2 hours driving to Perryville, Missouri. And then on the way home, I got out twice. Yeah. 3 times, excuse me. But the last 2 were within an hour because I thought I'm tired. I want to burn up some road here. And it was raining, it was nasty, and I was like, I want to get home. And everyone's laughing at Ted. And ooh, thank you for your opinion. That sounds great. Oh, Sarah, I hope it helps, hon. And here we go. And Christian has some good advice here. Sarah, you just did, Sarah. Your friends are going to acknowledge it, but never make it a bigger thing than it should be. They will look past the PTSD and find the Sarah that they know and love. Yeah, and the thing is, when Sarah and I talk, and we talk quite a lot these days, and it's like I am mindful of it, and I should be. It's like people you don't talk politics with. I only want Sarah to tell me what she needs, what she thinks I need to know, and being aware of what it's about. I know where the boundaries are, and I, as her friend, will not purposely try to push past them. I mean, it's one thing if someone's on a diet and you kind of tease them about eating pizza, but it's quite another thing for something like this, which is so freaking serious and can be debilitating. And Sarah has, like I said, has come such a long way, and I am ever so proud of that pretty lady. And PM me sometimes, Sarah, and we'll talk about it, says Carl Witzman. And love you, my older boy. Love always. This is so cute. And from the desk of a small press publisher, dang, Sarah, that is a deep question. Brian's advice is good. Thank you. I just think you need to just have the heart-to-heart with those that matter and be honest. My fiance did that with me for her issue. And yes, hit Carl up for that, because Carl was an advisor and he's given me some stuff that's helped me a lot. So yeah, definitely check it out. We had a huge comment dump. Holy cats. Wow. We just lost the link. That's why it looks so bad. And let's see, here we go. Where are we at? And let's see, not there. Yes, hit Carl up. Yeah, definitely. Carl will give you some great advice, and he is a far better counselor than I could ever hope to be. And Carl, just doing a second through me, just cured a room full of people of imposter syndrome. And Rick Riley says, like the great George Carlin said, question everything. I preach that to my son. Well, and back before he started believing his hype, the late Rush Limbaugh said something one day on his show. He said, question everything you hear in the media, including me, especially me, because if you do the research and what I tell you holds up, then I look good. So anyway, Grant Lankard, so busy trying to get my Kickstarter fulfilled so I can take issue 2 to Steel City Comic Con in 2.5 weeks. Yes, and good man, definitely get your book fulfilled before you go to the show. People remember stuff like that. In fact, Eric Hawkins and I have had several talks about that. Eric brought his new comic to the show. He had only a few, but that's because he had the stuff sent out. It's one thing if you do fulfillment, but I have seen people. There were some Florida-based creators, not Luke Stone, who got their comics and then turned around and took those comics that should have gone to the people that pledged on Kickstarter and took them to a show to sell there. And when people were saying, well, wait a second, weren't you supposed to mail these out? He goes, well, I'll get them on the second wave. I wanted to make money this weekend. You know what? Your money, these people are paying a premium for your product, and, and they're waiting for it. And if you can't think of them first, then you ought to get off Kickstarter. You ought to get out of the industry entirely. And it's becoming an issue. And like I said, people are starting to notice things like this, and people talk. We talk a lot. And Eric Hawkins Ted is going to be doing the watermelon crawl. Oh, yeah. As Chrissy mocks him with her laughter, I can tell now. I'm a professional graphic designer and I can't afford Photoshop CC. Yeah, and Eric Hawkins says Photoshop is like $9.99 a month, which includes Lightroom and cloud storage. I personally love it. I use Clip Studio as well, but just for lettering. I think it was $40, but it's often on sale. The one I looked at yesterday, I think was $45. It's naturally these things go up. But yeah, and I've heard, and I'm curious, and this is something we can discuss in private, but I I know that some programs are not great for lettering. I will admit that Paint MS is not superb for lettering. I would never use it as a professional letterer, but I would be tempted to use clip art if I did lettering. But why do you use both? I know Canva was crap for lettering. I tried working with it for a while. And Brian, you weren't supposed to let him know I'd be dancing. Well, you got to get him in there somehow, Donna. And you're a draw. You are a draw. And OMG, I'm excited about the variant issue you're saving back for me. Elated, that's so sweet of you. Well, you're a sweetheart, Sarah, and I'm more than happy to do that. There were 2 variant issues. One I got in short supply, and I am kind of out of it. But the one that features a certain dark and sticky friend of ours. How's that for vague booking, darling? And I officially hate the stop I just left, says the Skunk Rocker. They completely screwed up all their return paperwork, and I had to fix it, realized it wasn't fixable, and I just had it. I'm done with them. I don't blame you. And I was there for 30 minutes, and not one time did any of these people in there ask me if anything was wrong while I was sitting there trying to figure out this crap that they screwed up. I finally got back to my van, realized I missed a big trunk of the show, and I'm in a mood now, and it's ridiculous and it's unprofessional that they can't do their job. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of people like that. Do your job or go home. I agree, and I think the only thing that's worse is people that they screw up and expect you to fix it, and that ain't your gig. You are on a timetable. I am in total sympathy, my man. Ace Bonnie says the so-called Carpuccino is a 1988 Volkswagen Scirocco that was modified to run on leftover coffee grounds. At least it's eco-friendly. I'm the same way. Me too. I'm like a Volkswagen Scirocco. Thank you, Ace Bonnie. And Carl won't let me have any paint programs. He probably thinks my prose causes enough trouble, says Donna Carlene. Yeah, and in my case, Cookie goes, you haven't ridden Volcano 2 or 3 yet. You haven't ridden Aquatic yet. I don't care if you've started them, you haven't finished them. Stop doing these side projects and get those damn things done. Brian Rodman says, Grant, with comics, the crazier it is, the more fun you can have with it. Comics are such a wonderful and unique place to tell whatever story you can come up with. Yeah, well, and that's the sort of thing. It's like Ty Templeton. He's done so much, I don't want to say standard stuff, but he's done some mainstream material for like the big publishers. And his first book that I got to see was a thing called Stig's Inferno. If you can find that, that's a great comedy book, and the art is gorgeous. Of course, it's Ty Templeton's. Of course it is. But it's a story about a guy who kind of finds himself in hell, and within like an issue or so, he winds up running it, and he's walking around. He looks kind of like a slacker type. And he's wearing like this white dress shirt and socks, and that's it. He goes the whole issue without any pants. It's funny as hell. It's great, literally. And from this, the Small Press Publisher says, that stinks. That sucks, Skunk Rocker. Kind of wish you had a heavy bag to unleash your rage on. No joke. This is the sort of thing that drives people to shave their heads and carry guns. You know what I'm saying? And Clip Art Studio Paint EX is $90 with no subscription. It is wonderful, says Brian Rodman. And because I used to use Manga Studio 5, and I was getting pretty decent with it for a while. And I think I quit it was about the time I moved from Illinois to Indiana, so I kind of got out of it. But do you run, does this all work on your tablet, or can you do the whole art job on it? I'm just curious. And Carl Whitman goes, just keep writing, Donna. And Michaela Jade for graphics. I used to use Photoscape, but now I just use Skunk. Yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding Michaela and Skunk. This one's for you too.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels Set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men, and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret. Warrior's Trust. And Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Definitely get yourself some Michaela Jade goodness on Amazon right now. And if you need a book trailer that is expertly done like that, contact the Skunk Rocker or contact me and I'll give you his contact information. That was beautifully done, Skunk. Seriously, that was great. And and Donna Carlene, see what I mean? Yeah, I've got one just like him at home, Donna. I feel your pain. And is it too late to say don't die feed Cookie? Too early to say that? No, not quite. It's since I'm running behind, this is actually about the right time. And Donna, draw the draws. Do it, says Brian Rodman, our enabler in chief. And we need Donna's art, Carl. And Russell Allen, good morning to you. It was such a treat meeting you this last weekend at Heroes for Kids. And I still got it, brother. I still got it. And your children are lovely. I love those. They are so awesome. And so are you. And believe me, Brian Rodman, you don't, says Carl. And okay, here I overslept. That's okay, Joe Dog. You're worth waiting on. Joe Dog McKeel, the host of Stupid O'Clock every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern and 11 p.m. Central. And stay tuned for Dan Hollifield's Last Man Standing afterwards. I may try to pop in on you on Friday if I can from my motel room. I'm a little leery because last week I didn't have interwebs on my motel room, and I let the corporate know about it. And Russell Allen, hey Rick, hope you are well, my friend. Any news for Friday? And Brian Rodman, oh, but we do, even if it will offend everyone in the world. Oh, it will. It will. All the more reason to do it. And there is my man, John B. Pica, the guiding light of last night's clever title pending. You were sensational, John. Check out johnpica.com and check out Back of the Stereo Box every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. It is awesome. Plus his other array of shows. Plus tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Comic Books Yum. He's going to show you what he bought at the comic shop that day and talk about it. And happy New Comics Day to you, my brother. Thank you. And thank you for the talk last night. It was I really had a blast talking to you. You were sensational. We're going to have John back as soon as possible. And hey, Brian, as long as they pay for a badge, I don't care who you bring. Okay, fair enough. And no, Brian, Jake wouldn't survive HoloCon, says Donna Carlene. Oh, really? He walked in, boy, he's going to leave a man. And one day I'll venture my way to HoloCon, says Brian Rodman. I think we would both have fun, brother. And hey, Nevermorians, any of you cryptid/paranormal enthusiasts and interested in co-hosting Cryptid Crunch with Willow Schuyler every other Sunday? Message Mr. Pica there. He's got an opportunity for you. And a happy middle of the week to Cindy Cap. Mwah, happy middle of the week. And a happy one to you, my little Playboy bunny. Mwah, but more conservatively dressed and a lot more creative. Anyway, Donna Carlene says, I have the curse of almost everyone I went to school with thinks I'm sweet and adorable. Boy, did I have them fooled. Well, the thing was, when I was in high school, everyone thought I was a nerd before it was cool. And they were right, unfortunately, and socially awkward. Now, socially awkward is more acceptable, fortunately. But it was kind of funny. My high school reunion happened like 2 years ago, and I was going to go, but I had a show that weekend in Southern Illinois. So I sent my oldest friend Mark with my love, and it was funny because they were talking about people who could not attend, and I wasn't a slacker, but they didn't understand where my creativity was going. Excuse me. But they all knew I wanted to work in comics, for instance, and be a writer. And that's what I did all the time. I wrote. That's how I got all the bad words out of me. So nothing that comes out now is awful. It's all good. It's every bit of it's good. Don't ask my editor. So, but anyway, no. But the thing was, several people there were like, Brian's not dead. There were several people that actually thought I had died in the meantime because I don't talk to any of them. I don't want to. There's a lot of them. I'm just like, we part as friends. That's fine. But I'm not going to go out of my way to rekindle old memories, particularly when we might not have had any between us. But then my friend Mark said, "Oh yeah, Brian, yeah. You wonder what happened to him? He's now an internationally published author. He also is a broadcaster, and he went off to rattle off my credits. God bless him." And everyone's like, "He's doing all that, And it's like, yeah, a lot of these people were like, yeah, I retired from this company. Yeah, I'm working for this other company. Yeah, I'm a housewife, which there's nothing wrong with. Believe me, I'm a house husband. I know. But all these people, and then they're finding out that there are people outside of Vermilion County that know me. That's kind of fun. Anyway, thanks, Brian. I don't need a reminder of missing the latest Wonder Woman comics over the last 3 weeks. Dude, how did you missing the Wonder Woman comics? How does this happen, Joe D. McPhee? I'm curious. And high school was an utter train wreck, says Cindy kept, and I couldn't get through it fast enough for my liking. I'm with you. And I can understand, Cindy, probably because you were artistic and your peers weren't, right? And totally insensitive to your sensitivity. But I've told the story before. I remember when I graduated, I had one of my uncles attend out of 5. My dad happened to be there, and my parents had bought me a new suit. And of course, they gave me some money, and my uncle put a check in my pocket, for graduation from Georgetown High School before it was Georgetown Ridge Farm High School. And I remember they had over the PA system, attention, Georgetown High School graduates, please return your cap and gown to so-and-so room. And I'm like, fine. Because I had been like socializing, and and I tell my parents, I'll be back. I got to go, turn this in. We got to keep our tassels. Yay. I should put it on my fez. I should put it on one of my fezzes. Anyway, we're walking back, and it suddenly hit this one song. Skunk, you'll probably know it, and probably John Scarborough. Back on the Street Again by Utopia, by Kazim Sultan, from the Oops Wrong Planet album. And it was all about getting out of prison. And they had 20, and Chasm had $25 in his pocket and a new suit. And I'm thinking, I've got money in my pocket and a brand new suit. This is just how they feel when they leave jail. And that's just what this last 4 years has been. Prison with a temporary work release at night. And I started laughing hysterically because I thought this was just so ironically funny. And everybody's like, that's probably why they thought nothing would come of me. Skunkrocker says, oh, come on now, Donna. We're not that bad. Yeah, but we're that fun. And the Bible also says that your body is a temple, treated as such. Mine's more like an amusement park. And I have been treating it as such, which is probably why my cardiologist isn't happy with me. Anyway, Nazis get steamed. That's right. Oh, Cindy, I got to tell you, you and I have worked up that thing about Nazis getting a boot to the snoot. I had someone come up to me last weekend at Heroes for Kids Con, which I'd love to see you at. And, she said, I am, what are these books about? So I was giving her my elevator pitch, and I got to Skyman, and she goes, well, I start with is 1939. And she goes, does it have Nazis in it? I love stories where Nazis get kicked in the face. I made the sale. Anyway, Amazon Book Reviews Made Less Impossible by me. Check it out on Smashwords and on Amazon. We teach you how to write concise, honest reviews. We even provide a template for doing so. So please pick up this book. It's $2.99 on Amazon because that's what they told me to charge. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. And please leave me a review when you're done. That helps. And John B. Pica. Also, no new Comics Yum tonight. We are doing a special recap and review of Loki and Black Widow at 8 p.m. on the Facebook and YouTube page and channel. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, please check that out. It's going to be Kelly Guntner and John and a whole bunch of really cool people talking about the recently concluded but continuing series Loki on Disney Plus. That ought to be good. And Swords, Simply Swords from Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tucker on Amazon. And Skunk says, Donna, Carly, Carlene, that's why you're my friend. And Good Night, Reich, the new book by John B. Pica. Check it out on Amazon right now, available from Seventh Star Press. And also you hear about the background on it on last night's Clever Title Pending. You'll love that show. John's awesome. And Brian Robin laughs at Donna. That's the last thing he'll do in this life. life. The Great High School Con Artist. I feel a comic in the works already. And please, says Russell Allen, go to zenonititan.com/shop and pick up a CB 4K t-shirt with all profits going to the help get comics, coloring books, pop figures, and Pez to sick kids in hospitals everywhere. Yeah, that's a worthwhile cause. Please check out Xenon Titan. That's a good book. And TARDIS is on the move, says Cindy Cap, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. In the artwork of Bill Sarton. Great moo as always, Brian. Love the strawberry milk, but questioning how the chocolate one is made. It depends on what part of the cow you're waiting for. And got a boogie for now. Do good deeds. Via con dias, amigos. Hey, happy trails till we meet again, Bill Sarn. Have a great rest of your day, my friend. And Skunk, you'd be great with Willow on Cryptid Crunch. Yeah, there's a match there. Oh, my God. It might be another Felix and Oscar, but it is good. That would be cool. Because seriously, they're both great broadcasters and both are passionate about their subjects. And if you like dingoes being dastardly, then you got to check out that talk show there, that podcast, The Dastardly Dingoes, with our own Brian Rodman, who we adore. And the culture of nerds, it's not just for yogurt anymore. Check out Ryan Permission's channel on YouTube. It is great. And just got official word, Moon Knight has been pulled for me. Yippee, says Eric Hawkins. I know what he's reviewing tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central Time on YouTube and on Facebook. And good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning from Russ Explode Studio. Good to see you here, Russ. Good to see you last Saturday. And a small press publisher at a desk. That is our own Joe D. McPhee at that address there. Check him out every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And John B. Pica says, and before the phones start ringing again, any broadcasters who want to take their show to the next level, you really need to join us on Clubhouses. I have invitations available to let you jump the line. And Brian Rodman says, thank you, John. Appreciate that. I am going to really start working with mine. And Brian Rodman, me too, Eric. I'm jumping on the Moon Knight train. Hey, if you both want to review that, I'll let Eric take the lead on it. But if Brian has some more comments on it, I think that'd be great. That'd be kind of fun because generally we don't all read the same thing. So I think that ought to be kind of fun. I would look forward to that. I have not picked my comic book yet because I don't know what's in yet. So we'll see if I pick something there or if I get something that I've picked up. Last week was a good week for me. Cindy Cap says, neurotic, you want neurosis. That's the brand new book from Amy Hale, who is a darling, and it's available also on Amazon. Joe Dog McKeel says, I smile because I have no idea what's going on. I know what you mean. Not only do I not know what's going on, but I wouldn't know what to do about it if I did. You and me both. And you want a Warriors trilogy? You need Michaela Jade's great trilogy of books. And when you see her in the show, get you one of these. This will hold a lot of coffee. I'm telling you. It's heavy. I'm telling you, this is monstrous. It is great. It is beautiful, and so is she. And it was so much fun spending the Saturday with her and her husband. And Eric, I didn't get low A's because I did the work. Just saying. Yeah. And Justly Poetic, that's our Teresa Dunn. And also check out her shows tomorrow night on Thursdays at 6 p.m. She's going to have someone fun, I'm sure. And fencing historically, you'll get hysterical when you read the great work of Nicholas Anthony Tucker on Amazon. And check out his Historical Fencing Guild every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time. Always entertaining. Always a lot of fun. And let's see if this is the week that his backdrop murders him. It'll be fun. And Cindy Cap, you want madness in comics? You want to check out Pops Van Zandt. And the weekend of... not this weekend, but the weekend after, he's going to have the new CromCon. So you definitely want to check that out. And by getting vaccinated. That's right, Sarah. Thank you, sweetheart. And Luke Stone Studios, you got to go to Luke Stone Studios to get you some Luke Stone Studios and check out the hybrids. It is great stuff. And Bear Publications, where you can order copies of Animal Eye after I fulfill Kickstarter. Good girl. Check it out. You can get the Animal Eye novel upon which the comic book is based. And Cindy's first issue of that is out. She is currently writing, I believe, the third issue. Number 2 is in production. And she is a machine. She and Roll Cruz are doing some incredible stuff. So please check it out. Damon Waldburn says, I think Clip Studio has a free trial for the iPad. Ooh, good to know. Thank you, my friend. It is who you know and what they know. And Cindy kept says, zombies on the yellow brick road. Holy cats, you need to go to Comixology and check out Eric S. Hawkins' first 2 issues and the third one. Will be there soon, I would imagine, right? And Remelian, who we love, go to remelian.com. She is incredibly creative in so many freaking ways. And she is such a lovely, positive person. She's great. And from the Decimal Small Press publisher, Clip Studio Paint X is the evolution of Manga Studio. The name was changed when the company from Manga Studio was bought out. Well, I probably can't get it continued. Could I get an upgrade on it? I wonder. I might have to prick your brain on this, Joe. And Brian Robin says, well, it's about that time. Don't die, feed Cookie. Give Cookie a hug for me. I sure will. And you do the same for Robin, please. Everyone go out into the world and light up the darkness with your creativity. Hashtag bring Cookie home. Hashtag laugh like the shadow. That's my favorite.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? And who knows how much better Paint.net is than Paint 3D? The Shadows graphic designer knows.
James Patterson will never do that. And Cindy Cap says, this Saturday, Fort Dodge Comic and Toy Show, the QuadCon Fort Frenzy. She's going to have her books. She's going to have her dragons and gigantic gaming dicing. Oh, that's going to be so cool. And good morning, Facebook user, moi to you. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Facebook is being a poop and not letting me know who you are. And Carl Westman says, yes, it's about that time. Everyone remember where they parked? Bye. And this Sunday, QuadCon Waterloo with Cindy Cap Comics and Toys. She'll have whatever books, dragons, and gaming dice that didn't go home with everyone on Saturday. So check it out and just go up and say hello to Cindy. She's worth spending some time with. She's a great talent and a great friend. Sarah says, I was sick for a few days after the first immunization, but it was better than having COVID. Yes, my second shot is in mid-August. Being proactive to be my own nurse if I have another reaction. Well, if you need someone to nurse you, I'm available. I'm only a couple hours away, and my grandmother's a nurse. I know my way around the sponge bath. And Cindy Cap says, July 31st to August 1st, Davenport Comic and Toy Show at the North Park Mall. July 31st to August 1st, more books, dragons, and dice. And Cindy Cap, Sarnard 76 is the place for all the vintage cartooniness you need. And Archie Comics still publishes digest comics. Well, the thing is, John, back in my day when we were in really small press, this, about the size of a sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, folded and stapled on one side, was called a digest at the time, and was kind of co-opted by Image Comics. Oh, those are ash cans now because we're publishing ash cans, and they're running it through a photocopier like I was. Anyway, but and I also did mini comics where you fold the paper twice till it's a square again. You staple down the middle, cut off one end, and you've got comic books. Next time we get together, John, I'll have to give you some. I'm pretty proud even of the stuff I did back then. And if I get all the files sorted out for Beowulf #2 and sent all off to the printer, I may celebrate. You should celebrate, Grant Lankard. You have made an accomplishment there, my friend. And Animalized newest review on YouTube. Oh my God, that's awesome. I will have to check that out, Cindy. Thank you. And I had a great time on Clever Title Pending. Thank you, John. It was such a joy to have you on too. And I hope I wasn't a babbling wreck. Dude, you were your opening remarks were in the neighborhood time-wise of Randy Zimmerman and Bobby Nash, and you were every bit as fascinating. You really were. I love hearing about your history and all of the things you've accomplished, and looking forward to all the stuff you've got yet to do. It'll be great. Rick Bradley, I live very close to Murphyboro. Want to have dinner Friday night? That's what I'm talking with Amy and John about. Let's include you into the conversation then, if you'd like. And another comment done, probably the last one for the day because we're almost caught up. And I think I'm calm now. Good skunks. Good skunk. You didn't deserve those type of customers, and I hope they're the worst ones you have all day. I hope the day goes better from here. And we get to Holocon. Let me or Chris Walker know you are there, and we will assign you a toter to get set up. Thank you, Joe Dog McKeel. There was a time a couple years ago when I would have been, no, I'm fine. I am recognizing my limitations physically now, and I would appreciate your help. Thank you so much as the elderly person of the group. And Cindy Cabot goes, and breaks ends too soon. Don't forget to tip your host. Thank you. Bring Cookie home. Sign up for Rising Tide's newsletter. You can do that if you go to this address, Nope. It's like, there we go. risingtide.pub. And there's a link at the top, or send me your email address via Facebook Messenger and I will sign you up. So anyway, and thank you, Cindy, for being here. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, sweetheart. And also, it is the Bomb Diggity. Thank you. And definitely go to ckoepp.com before you do and get Cindy's newsletter. It should be out in 3 days or 4 days from now, and it's worth it. It's worth signing up for. It gives you stuff to think about. It gives you inspiration, and you feel better after having read it. And check out Patreon for nifty artistic stuff. Definitely go to Patreon. Check out my page at Brian K. Morris, all one word, lowercase. And check out ckoepp.com. She's got cool stuff on there too, because she's amazing. And do me a favor and don't die. Well, I will do my best, Grant. So far, so good. In fact, you should not die, and you should also feed Cookie. I agree with you. I may actually get something to eat myself. And the Skylarker says that George Carlin and Rush Limbaugh aside reminded me of a scene in Adam Ruins Everything, where they point out to Adam that he was wrong in the past and he's happy about it, and no one understands why. I remember that, and I dug that episode because that's kind of how I am. Like, if I make a major faux pas, fact-wise, I might have a moment where I'm like, but it's at myself because it means I didn't do my research properly. And having written a lot of nonfiction, and being a former newspaper guy, I'm pretty much into the truth. Even when I write fiction, I'm into the truth. So, yeah, that was a great episode, and I empathized with Adam so much and agreed. Grant Lankard. Thank you, Joe Dog. And Sarah, OMG for the comics going to a convention and not to the people they were supposed to get them. Pretty sure I know who that was. He was one of them. And I think it was another one of his cronies that did the same thing. The people I'm trying to distance myself from. And Ted Davies says, BCam, thanks for all you do. Thank you, my friend. You are also an incredible force in this our industry, and we are so glad to have you as part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. In fact, John B. Pica, he had a lot of great things to say about the people on this network, and you in particular. So anyway, see you tonight on The Truthmonger, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Check out Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube. Check it out on teddaviesartistry.com. He's also got a Facebook page of that name. Just check him out, okay? He deserves to be checked out. Just like a library book. And squeal to the variant copy of The Dark and Sticky. Oh, yeah, that's the one I'm getting for you, sweetheart. And official toter. John, I appreciate that. And I'll do something to make it worth your while, I promise. And Sarah, an El Camino just went by and was a shade of poop for the paint job. Rolling poop. That's ugh. And Brian Robin jumping back in to say, yes, Brian, I do all my books on Clip Studio EX. Yeah, and it's nice to know that that's and if it's one-stop shopping, that's tempting, because I wouldn't mind learning how to do flatting and to do lettering. I think that would be great. I would, because I've got this book, I've read it several times. I don't know why it's still by the bedside. I've got like 2 or 3 copies of this, but it's by Richard Starking's Comic Craft. I do recommend it. You can get it on Amazon. It's called Comic Book Lettering, and it's how to use Photoshop for lettering comic books. It's very informative, very well done. And Damian Waldburn says, I can send you comics I do fully on Clip Studio to show you its range. I would not mind seeing that, my friend. And my friend Bobby Nash, happy Wednesday, happy hump day to you, my friend. How are you? BobbyNash.com. Please check him out. And also please check out brand new book has dropped recently, I believe. Number 5 in the Snow Short series about Abraham Snow. He was an undercover agent for 10 years. And after a near-death experience, he's now trying to adjust to normal life. But you just can't get out of that lifestyle that easily. And my book is one where he is threatened to be dragged back into it, kicking and screaming, or else it will mean the lives of his friends and family. Check it out. I'm number 4 in the series, Snow Ambition. And there's a new omnibus with episodes 1 through 3 available currently on Amazon, plus the 5th Snow short. Check them out. It's only 99 cents. Mine is only 99 cents. It gives you a great taste of what the Snow series is about if you like quick read crime fiction. Anyway, Bobby, happy Wednesday to you, my friend. Hope all is well. Hope you and your dad are doing well. And it's only 11:30, but you're still pretty far behind in the comments, so I'll go ahead and say it. Don't die, feed Cookie. And just remind you at the end of the show to upload Michaela's trailer. Just did. As you saw, Brian Rahman and I do everything from line art to colors to lettering there. Yeah, I like the idea, like when I saw your pencils there. I can tell a story visually. And I think my drawing experience did help my writing experience. Because I'm looking at some of my stuff in Bachelors Grove, and I'm like, hey, that's not too bad. Not bad writing. I'm better now, though. But yeah, I just get that urge every now and then, just for, gets and shiggles. And cool, right, when I say, hey, remember to upload the trailer, he plays the freaking trailer. Skunk Rocker, for once, I'm ahead of you, man. In fact, I took the time yesterday. I've uploaded it to here. It's not going to come up so much on the others because I don't run a lot of trailers there unless you buy ad space there. But we may make an exception for you and Michaela. And well done, Skunk. Seriously, I got to say, brother, that was a superb trailer. That is beautiful. And Brick Radley says, people messing things up and expecting you to fix it sounds like the doctors I talk to every day. When I explain how they can fix a claim, they clip out and want me to do it. Then they'll say the patient that their insurance doesn't cover a BBN out there and won't pay $1 million claim when all they have to do is fill out one form and fax it with the proper records. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, and that's the problem with the paperwork. That's why I think a lot of people like me don't get a lot of things taken care of, because it's the expense. It's like I got my own hospital. I love the people there, but they called me when I turned 65, and they said, well, we have a wellness seminar we'd like you to attend, and it's free, totally free. And it involves, you talk and, figure out how to live a healthier lifestyle now that you're decrepit. And I went, and then I got a bill for $700. And of course, I called and asked politely what the hell's going on. And when I talked to the lady, she said, well, you know what? It looks like we didn't submit it to your insurance at all. And I said, now I'm not begrudging one item on there, because they did show I got an EKG and they showed it to my regular doctor. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. There was like a $30 charge for him to look at it and give me some feedback on it. I don't begrudge that. Because that was kind of out of the ordinary. But I, looked at the other stuff, and I'm like, this whole thing was supposed to have been free. I'm very disappointed. And she said, don't worry about it. Don't pay it. We will run through. I will see that it's run through your insurance. And sure enough, I got a credit, because Cookie actually went and paid part of it. And we got a credit back for it. They're real good at issuing credits. I just wish they didn't have to get the money in the first place. Sarah, the music behind the old author Michaela Jade ad literally gave me chills. Good selection, Skunk. That was super. And that's hilarious as the Skunk Rocker. Thank you, Brian. Now go feed Cookie. Yes, dear. And Donna Carly, yay. Still love that promotion, Michaela and Skunk. Oh, yeah. And great job, Skunk. Seriously, you did a super job on that. Folks, if you need trailers, contact my buddy, the Skunk Rocker. I'm going to get some stuff from him. I'm putting some ideas together. And Skunk created that. Holy crap of amazing. Seriously, this guy is so talented. He really is. And thanks, Joe. I've been waiting to make one for Stupid O'Clock, but I can't think of anything. I had one idea I was going to run past you. It's our level of humor. I think you'll like it. And he says, I've just been busy with just everything else. Kill me now. No such luck. You don't get out of it that easily. And Skunk Cracker says, all right, enough yapping. If I don't shut up, Brian will never end the show. And as much said, like there's going to be a 3-hour Nevermind, Cookie needs to be fed. Cookie will be fed. There will not be a 3-hour show today, I promise. And remember, since the Historical Fantasy Guild, the Off Network, I am running the ongoing adventure campaign Dusk Falls over Ravencleft Gorge on Red Valkyrie Presents Dice Dudes and Dames, 8:30 p.m. to 12:30 Wednesday nights. That ought to be good. I got to catch that show sometime. I really do. And quick question before we go. I have too many ideas as a follow-up to Beowulf. Would any of my creative friends be willing to read through elevator pitches and help me decide which idea is best? Yeah, I would. And sure, Grant, I will owe you anyway. Yeah, and I would be willing to also Grant. Grant goes, no, not you. You're mean. And now it is time. You're going to die, feed Cookie. Yes, Joe Dog McKeel, we are going to get out of here. And John Scarborough says, they tell me I've paid back the debt I owe. 44 months since the slammer door closed. They gave me a suit and put me back on the road, and my thoughts are racing. Where do I go? I knew you would know that, Mr. Scarborough. Thank you, my friend. It's definitely love in action. And just for Skunk, you're gonna die, feed Cookie. Yeah, thank you. And Walt, is that John Scarborough? Yes, it is, the one, the only. And thanks, Joe Dog. We'll talk later. And I intend on Skunk and sneaking back in. I missed Clever Tile Bending last night, but it was Dad's birthday, so I will catch it on the rerun. It's still yummy, and the flavors have had time to settle overnight, and it's fully hydrated now. Definitely you'll like it. And happy birthday to your father, sincerely. And from the desk of a small press publisher, less than 12 minutes. Well, it's past that now. And is Demon Phil still around? He just popped into my mind for some reason. Yeah, I just got a thing from him just this morning, I think. He is still around. And Ace Bonnie, take care of yourself, my man. Thank you for being here. And later on, Donna, Carlene, thank you for being here. And yes, add me to that conversation. I'd love to have dinner with you all. I would love that too. And Joe Dog McKeel says, after Truth Mongers tonight, Armchair Rocket Science will be live with a special report with Paul Mamakos live at the launch site gate. We will be going over things that have happened this past week and a huge thing today. Well, just the thing with Jeff Bezos, and now that he can stretch his limbs, and others have the superhuman strength. Sorry about the looks though, and the ability to disappear and burst into living flame. That's pretty major. And Sarah, yep, I get chills every time. You should, Michaela J. That is one awesome, great piece of work, and you're awesome too, darling. And 9 p.m. Eastern, Joe Dog, I will endeavor to be there, my friend. And looking forward to Armchair Rocket Science. It's a great show. And with that, folks, we have caught up with your comments. Thank you all very much. Let's get our gratitude out of the way, because we all should have an attitude of gratitude. We really should. And I'm very grateful to Plasma Fire Graphics, not only for sponsoring the show, but doing this incredible cover for Snow Shorts, the series Snow Shorts. He's done all the covers for it, actually. And my book is called Snow Ambition. Like I said, someone wants to get back into the Manuel Ortega organization after being ousted, and he needs the help of Abraham Snow to do it, not knowing that Abraham Snow's supposed to be dead. Anyway, check it out. It's Snow Ambition number 4 in the Snow Short series. It's only 99 cents, available on Amazon, and it's a quick read crime thriller. You'll dig it. And we also dig Jeffrey Hayes and his incredible talents at Plasma Fire Graphics, and I love you to the abyss and back too, Sarah. Have a great day, sweetheart. We will be talking. Anyway, back to the gratitude. Please check out plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, on the look of your book matters to you. And would you like that kind of affordable talent working for you? Contact Plasma Fire Graphics at plasmafiregraphics.com. Also, check out their Facebook page. Plasma Fire Graphics, on the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. And people that matter to me also are my patrons on Patreon. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And we're going to get that new name up on the boards as soon as we can, sir. And anyway, we thank you all for your patronage. It means a lot, and it keeps this show and others going. In a lot of ways, not just enthusiasm, but also the financial part helps defray the costs of producing the show, and there are some. But anyway, in return, it's not a one-way street. They get stuff, like they get their names mentioned in all the stuff we produce, and they also get to read my weekly blog. Every blog deserves a name, and get peeks at my upcoming works like The Terrors, all kinds of cool stuff. And all these people all have their own Patreon pages, so please support them as well. But if you want to see what I'm offering and the reward levels I offer, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris for more information. And for more information and entertainment, you got to check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Check out our Facebook page and give it a like. We also have back episodes of our various shows on there. And tonight we have the Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. And then tomorrow, let Michaela Jade kick you in the ass and get you motivated to follow your creative dreams every morning, up before you are, I'll wager. She's up before I am. And she's trying to get out of her day job. You can do the same thing. You can get out of her day job too. But no, seriously, it's a great motivational morning with Michaela. So check that show out every day. It's a great show. She's doing a super job on that. And then tomorrow, Thursday night at 7 p.m., the entertainment starts with Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric S. Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall as we review the latest comics and talk funny books because we love comic books. And if you love comics, I think you'll love this show. We are positive about comics. We're positive we love comics. And then Amy Hale's taking a couple weeks off to prep for season 2 of Creative as Hale. But at 9 p.m., the great Joe Dog McKeel, the Skunk Rocker, John and Dan and Lewis and Heather and Bill and Nick and occasionally me will get on for Stupid O'Clock, the cleverest talk show on the interwebs. It is a great, great show. And stay tuned to Dan Holofield right after with the former Stupid After show. Now it is Last Man Standing. It is great stuff. You will enjoy it. And I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with Comic Book Spectrum. And again, Friday morning with another Nevermind the Furthermore. And also don't forget to put on your calendar Muddy Monster Con in Murfreesboro, Illinois. There is a story behind that name. There is a local a cryptid called the Muddy Monster, and I'm going to get to know more about it this weekend. I'm looking forward to learning. But anyway, we will be at the Davis McCann Civic Center at 15 North 14th Street in Murfreesboro, Illinois from 10 to 5. Please come see us. And at 2 p.m., I will be interviewing, I lost my place here. I will be interviewing Jason Font, who played Wes Collins, the Red Ranger on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Time Force, Wild Force, Megaforce, Super Megaforce, and Ninja Steel. He's also a movie producer, and he's done a lot of acting from soap operas to horror films. So come and pick his brain. It's your chance to meet a Power Ranger, and we'll have a little talk with him and field your questions. So please come see us. And with that, we are going to sign off. We're going to get cookie fed, and thank you all for being here. You make this show so much fun, and we'll do it again Friday, I promise, okay, before we head out to Murfreesboro. So anyway, folks, have a super hump day. Make it good for someone else. Give them a smile. It's a cheap way to improve somebody's day, including your own. And as always, folks, as I scroll down to where I need to be, I'll be thinking of things to do today. I'm going to be creative, and I hope you are too. In fact, what I'm going to be working on
How
is...
dare you!
Oh, she heard about it. Anyway, please follow your muse and inspire others with your creativity too. You make the world a better place with your art. You really do, no matter what it is. So keep doing it, and don't let anybody tell you no, especially yourself. So, folks, in closing, as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have an incredible new comic book day, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum and on Friday on Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
Southwest of Chicago, there is a small, secluded cemetery known as Bachelors Grove, and it is one of the most haunted places in the United States. Author Brian K. Morris brings you a collection of writings that will help you navigate this ghostly graveyard, if you dare. The Haunting Scripts of Bachelors Grove is available now on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.